help people reach their highest true psychic potential. And I'm about to take a trip here, but before I leave, I wanted to answer this question that one of our members asked. It was around being in a place of fear about her psychic gifts. And so this question comes from Tanya V. So hey Tanya, thanks for the question. You know, when it comes to being in a place of fear, one thing that people should realize, right, is that it's actually a body level kind of a fear. And the analogy I like to use, I cover this in day one of my Awaken Your Psychic Gifts 5-day challenge, right? Day one of the challenge. I cover that the body, right, can react. The body can react. It could get into a place of fear. And the analogy I like to use is like when you go to a scary movie, all right? What happens? Even though you're watching on the screen and you know it's not real, right? Your body will still jump, right? And react. Well, to the body has no idea. The body doesn't know the difference between if it's real or not. Okay? So there you are, sitting there, right? You're using your third eye to see something, or maybe you're an empath, you're feeling energy, or maybe you walk into a weird room, right, where it just doesn't feel right in there, you know? And so there you are, your body, right, even though it's reacting to this energy, right, your body doesn't know if it's real or not, right? So literally what happens is that the body can go into what I call survival mode, right? And so when you're in survival mode, think about this for a moment, right? Survival energy itself is kind of a lower vibration. Not only that, survival energy is very much a physical kind of a response, right? It's a physical body response. Now, when it comes to accessing your psychic gifts, guess what? Sometimes you're going to encounter energies that are beyond what the body's familiar with, right? So another analogy I like to use is like, say you pinch yourself. You could feel that, right? However, there are energies beyond the physical scope, I want to say, or the physical range of, everything's frequency, right? So in the physical realm, there's a certain range to the physical frequency. Well, once you get into higher spiritual energies, higher and higher spiritual vibrations, whether it's good or bad, the body's like, whoa, that's beyond anything I'm familiar with. That's scary to me, right? And thus the body can go into survival. And like I mentioned, when you're in survival, that's a lower vibration. And here you are trying to reach these higher, spiritual vibrations. But when you're stuck in this survival space, right, because of fear, because of, because to the body, it just doesn't know the difference, right? That's where, that's why we cover that on day one of the Awaken Your Psychic Gifts challenge, right? We address this head on. And the way that you learn how to overcome this is, how can you manage that survival energy and just literally ground all that out, right? And I like to use this other analogy that, sometimes your psychic gifts are like a window, right? Sometimes the window gets dirty. What do? You clean it off, right? You clean it off. And then that way you don't have to strain so hard. Your gifts are right there, ready to be used. Okay. And if they're not being used, or if they're, caked over, right? And then you can't use them, then, logically you'll be like, just clean the window, right? So that analogy, that's what I mean by grounding, right? Any survival energy, any fear energy, any old programming that you might have around, accessing your gifts. It could even be religious energy, right? I can't tell you how many times, people with deep religious backgrounds are like, yeah, in church, we weren't allowed to do this, but I know I'm gifted. Okay. So anyway, Tanya, to answer your question, those are the things to address, just, day one of the challenge, to talk about honoring your body first, right? So, whenever you do any kind of energy work, whether it's accessing your psychic gifts, giving healings to others, you always want to honor the body first. And just realize that your body will react, right? Because that's just what the body does, even in a scary movie. But when you can start to ground, when you can start to release, you relax the body, right? Then that's where accessing higher and higher levels of psychic awareness. That's when it starts to come into play. And then it becomes fun, it becomes easy, it becomes more natural. All right. So anyway, Tanya, thanks for asking your question. And, for those of you, if you have any other questions you'd like to ask me, feel free to comment below. But otherwise, just remember to like, subscribe, follow, whether you're watching me on Facebook or on YouTube. And watch out for my next video. All right. Thanks again. Bye for now.